All right, what's up, everybody? Steven here, the Horror Freak 85. I just wanted to get going a few minutes early just to start up and wait for a few people to come on in here. I'll be joined by, of course, as always, Miss Boomstick in just a minute or two. And then right after that, we'll be joined by Jenna Kanell. So looking forward to that. Should be a good time. Next Saturday, going to be doing another show at 2:00 p.m. We got our guest Lindsay Crane and Stuart Spark from Book of Monsters. He directed it and she starred in it. He also did The Creature Below, so we'll be talking about that as well and see if they're up to anything new and discuss their past and future projects. So let's see. Looks like someone came in here. So you can go ahead and leave your questions, comments. If anybody has questions that they want to go ahead and ask Jenna, can go ahead and comment now or when she gets here. So, and then we're figuring out, of course, I mentioned it prior. March, of course, is Women in Horror Month. So got a couple people planned for that. I did mention when I was interviewed on Patrick's channel, Have Cheetah Will View, that we will be having Tristan Risk as one of the guests. So she was in American Mary. What else? Rabid. So we'll be talking about that. And she is planning on directing a feature film soon. All right. Let's see. So Boom should be here in just a minute. And actually, we got someone coming in right now. Here's Jenna.
Hello. Oh, hello. What's up?
Good. I figured I'd just bring you in while we're waiting for some people. So I just started up a few minutes ago, so we are live now. I was just talking about next week's show, killing a little bit of time. So that way people will see we're going live, and that way
we can get ready to join the party.
Exactly. So how's your day been?
It's been nice. It's been a nice laid-back Saturday so far, which is good. Last couple weeks have been a little busier, so it's I don't hate a little downtime. It's good for the soul.
Yes, downtime's always fun.
About to have a guest here. Come here. Hi, baby.
Oh, she woke up. Yes,
Yeah, she woke up. She's wandering through, and she's got places to be. Well, she'll probably come back.
Cat's out of the bag, huh?
Yes. Hi, sweet baby.
And what's her name?
Her name's Emmett.
Emmett?
She's a good girl. Yeah, she's a rescue. How's your day been?
Just chilling, prepping. That's pretty much it. So I watched, again, of course, I've seen it many times, but I watched Terrifier again just to get it fresh in the mind. So
wonderful. Can't watch it too many times.
Nah, not at all. I mean, you always notice something different too each time. Do you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the more you watch movies, you might notice stuff that you missed the first time. So always good to freshen up on that. So
yeah, I feel like that's a sign of a good movie if you notice something new every time.
So, and then I watched your music videos that you did. So
cool. Thank you.
I'll talk to you about those in a little bit once get some more people. So, but I enjoyed them. So
thank you.
All right, Boom. I wonder where she's at. But that's okay. So what's going on?
What are we reading? What? Who?
Oh, my co-host, Christy. Yeah.
Of course.
Yep. So what else going on? Watching any good shows or anything? Or
I just saw a fantastic film the other night called The Novice.
Okay, The Novice.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Sorry, I was having trouble with my audio stuff.
My computer almost wanted to restart before I came on. It said restart now, later, or remind me tomorrow. I'm like, well, I'm not restarting it now. not the time.
I've been clicking remind me tomorrow for probably a month now.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes.
Do it tomorrow. Every day. It's like when I'm on, I'm like, I'm on to be on. I don't want to have to restart it. I'm busy right now.
I put off the updates, and then one day I'll be dead and it won't be necessary.
It won't be. Sometimes the updates screw it up anyway, like they're supposed to help, and it just doesn't at all.
Aw.
He's a baby.
Yeah. I was mentioning earlier, like I
He's
had
my
read.
child.
I was saying that I read Jenna teaches her tricks and stuff, so I didn't know if we might be able to see something. I don't know.
I do. Do you feel like doing tricks? No. All right.
No.
It's like, no, I'm on camera. I don't want nobody else
I know,
to see.
it's true. The moment
No,
there's a camera, it's a different story.
Yeah.
No witnesses. Like, come
No,
on.
well, I've been able to take videos of it. I just have to be discreet. Very like hidden camera sort of vibe.
Like the
Like a reality show. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just pop it in there. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I've only been able to teach one cat, and I don't have this cat anymore. A trick I taught him how to like jump up, and he'd like wrap himself along the back of my shoulders, and I'd like walk all over the house, and I just have this.
That.
He was all black, and he would just be all wrapped around my shoulders. But unfortunately, that was a long time ago, and he's no longer with us. But
I'm so sorry. That's so sweet, though. I love that.
But any other cat, they're like, no.
She'll do like she can do high fives and turn in a circle. Like I've been able to teach her to do a bunch of things, but I also will say I didn't bring any treats into this area, so that would be I don't want to promise,
Right? Yeah.
It's like no treats. Yeah, it's like
the positive reinforcement is an important element of the whole thing.
Would you like a treat? High five. Yes, I want a treat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we had a lot of the positives. Well, I have a dog too, so we have a lot of positive stuff. But she don't want to do stuff in front of other people, though. It's just kind of like that as well.
Performance anxiety.
Yeah. There was on America's Got Talent when they had the dogs that were like the judges. They did like a spoof on Simon and all them. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
No, that's adorable.
They were dressed up as the judges, and then the other dogs were doing all these tricks and jumping on them and all this stuff. It was fun. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Everything is.
Probably. Hopefully.
So. The novice, what were you saying real quick?
You asked me if I'd seen anything. Yeah, you had asked me if I'd seen anything good recently, and a filmmaker friend recommended it to me. A director who I just worked with in September, named Riley Cusick, recommended it, and it's called The Novice, and I believe it premiered at Tribeca last year, which I was at Tribeca, but I didn't get to see this one. It's really good. It's a thriller about rowing, which doesn't sound exciting, but the way it's done, it's very. If you've seen Black Swan or Whiplash,
yeah,
that sort of it's kind of like a companion piece to those, where it's someone who becomes so obsessive about being the best at something that it it sends them on a spiral, and it was really beautifully done.
I might have to check that out. So.
I highly recommend it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and learn a little bit about you. How about that?
No.
When you were growing up, what was your favorite shows, movies? Anyone inspire you to do what you do?
When I was growing up, I got into horror when I was younger, because I used to have really, really awful periods, and so I would have to stay home for a couple of days every month, and I ended up finding channels that played horror movies during the day, and it was that sort of thing where it kind of I think other horror fans have this experience where sometimes when I'm watching a really good horror movie, it'll take me out of my pain and into the experience of whatever I'm watching. Yeah, I'm seeing nodding.
It's basically what got me loving it too. I didn't find it till I was teenage years. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it was basically take me out of the stuff I'm dealing with, and it was help cope with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. Suddenly it was less. I wasn't feeling quite as deeply, intense abdominal pain as much as, oh, I hope they get out of this house. I hope that the killer doesn't get them. That sort of cathartic thing. So that's when I got into horror, was when I was younger, around early teenage years.
Or sometimes when you have sympathy for the killer, it's like, please kill them.
Right. Yeah. Depending on the movie, for sure. Yeah. So I watched a lot of those.
So grew up horror. You love horror. That's great.
Yeah.
Since you also direct your shorts and stuff too, did you ever in high school either take TV productions or drama or any other classes even in college?
In high high school, I did take a theater class, and I was in some plays. And I actually started doing community theater in high school. And in high school was the first time I ever got onto a movie set. I tried doing background work just to see, how the whole machine works, which I definitely recommend to anybody who's thinking about getting into film. I think it's a great way to just get on set and see what the experience is like without having any sort of responsibility. And I just fell in love with the process. So that's kind of how I got into that. And I had been writing also since I was a kid and telling stories even before I knew how to write. And they tried to offer a film production class, I think my senior year of high school. It was okay. It wasn't great. I think I got more into it through the experience of doing it. And then when I graduated, I actually did not go to college.
Okay.
I've taken classes. I consider myself an autodidact, and I love to learn, and I think education is super important, but the school setting doesn't necessarily suit me super well. So after high school, I just started doing it, and I have learned a lot and continue to learn a lot by just getting into the deep end.
All right. See who's here. Haddonfield Slashers here, and Hobbs. They say, "What's up? What's going on, people?"
Haddonfield Slasher says that they love the Terrifier movie, which is an awesome movie.
Thank you all so much.
So, how did you get involved? Since we're talking about Terrifier at the moment, how'd you get involved with that? Did you know someone or an agent told you about it?
Damien, the director, and I have tried tirelessly to figure out how we met each other, and we cannot remember how we got connected, but we somehow got connected. I don't know if it was word of mouth or he had seen me or I had submitted for something. I don't know, but I do know that when we originally connected, it was actually over a different film. There's a movie called The Ninth Circle that at the time he was trying to make. Obviously you would have heard of it. It never got made. It still could, I suppose, one day, but thus far it hasn't been made. But I auditioned for that movie called The Ninth Circle. And then something happened with Damien and his process where it looked like Terrifier was going to get made. And so he reached out and said, I loved your audition for Ninth Circle, and I know we were supposed to do that, but would you be interested in this other movie instead? And he sent me the script, and I was like, you are fucked up. I'm in. Let's go. And the rest, as they say, is history.
That's an awesome thought process.
That was it. That was word for word, pretty much, almost verbatim.
It's like, fucked up script. I'm in. Love it.
Damn, you are a twisted individual. I mean, to be fair, he is a very kind person. You would never know that from seeing his movies. But we had been talking for a while before that, and so I knew that the script, as twisted as it was not a reflection of the type of person that he was, and he had been thus far very kind and engaging. So it's
and that's usually how it is with most people in the horror genre. Is like their real life personality is nothing like what it is like on the screen. That's with actors, directors, anything. It's just it's like all my demons go here.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think there are musicians that have said the same thing, like musicians that have that more violent imagery in their songs a lot of times. I think it's exactly what you're saying, where we take those things and put them into our art.
Right.
I think it's, I love it. I think it's much better than putting it elsewhere.
Yeah, I think it makes our horror community so much stronger. It's it's probably one of the best communities I've seen because the fans are always there for you, and people get together and meet each other and get friends, and it's just everybody's there for everybody pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I found too, and it's really beautiful. I love it. It is a really loyal, really vocal community.
Mm-hmm. But on the Terrifier, you had to get some makeup done. How long did that take?
Yes. Well, I know I have a feeling you're talking about the more special effects stuff, but I'm also wearing a ton of just actual normal makeup the whole movie. So just the makeup alone for when I'm not bloody took probably a good 20-30 minutes because I'm wearing a ton of eyeshadow and foundation, eyeliner, and 10 pounds of false eyelashes. And because people have said, oh, you look different in real life. I said, yeah, because I'm not wearing 15 pounds of makeup. So there's that. But then the special effects, I'm trying to remember. I mean, obviously spoilers abound. My death scene, Damien did those special effects himself. He did obviously all the special effects in the film, which is one of the most impressive things about him as a filmmaker. I can't remember how long it took, but it was a while, because each bullet hole was its own prosthetic piece that then had to be blended into the rest of my face. And then he ran tubes underneath them so that he could practically pump blood out as I'm, writhing around and dying on the floor. So I can't remember exactly how long it took, but it was probably a while.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Henfield Slasher says, do you have any Terrifier collectibles?
From the film or
They didn't clarify, so either or.
Either or, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, let's do both, sure. From after the film, I feel very fortunate in that a lot of really cool fans have sent me some neat stuff where I have 2 different Funko Pops of my, unofficial Funko Pops of my character that I love so much. And I have some weird little things that people have made, and there's the comic book and things like that. My cat, of course, can't decide whether she wants to be in here or out. Classic kitty. So just ignore every time that happens. And then from the film, I still have my costume, actually, the original costume from we had 2 versions of the costume. One got destroyed, but I have the one that did not get destroyed. I think, I don't know what happened to the one that was the version that was dirty and bloody and had flashes through it. But the one that was not that, I still have to this day.
They said sweet. And they said, anything. So that was good.
Awesome.
But if your cat wants to make appearance every now and then, we don't care. So you don't have to worry about trying to keep the kitty away.
Yeah, okay. It's a pet friendly show also, so we're good.
Good. Yeah. It's just every time, cats, every time there's a closed door, they need to be on both sides of it at once somehow.
Yeah, every once in a while, my cat will make an appearance. He'll decide he wants to be on camera, or my dog will start barking. So we're good.
Perfect. It's a safe space. Wonderful.
Yeah. Pet friendly, safe space. Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So your death scene, since we were talking about that, when you read and you found out you were going to be shot, and some people might say, why are you shot in a slasher? Were you thinking that you wanted to die a different way, or were you satisfied with your ending?
When I first read the script, I actually died a different way that I in the past talked about, and since Damien has said he might want to use it in something else, so I shouldn't talk about it, but I died a different way, and it wasn't actually via gun. So when he changed it to that, I was obviously shocked. I think I have this sort of dualistic relationship to that whole thing, because on one hand, just like everyone says, it's sort of cheating. But on the other hand, it's kind of cool that he has to cheat in order to beat Tara. That, that he only cheats is about to take him down. That's kind of...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because just before the gun, you were kicking some ass in that, With first all, it's she's got to be the final girl, come on.
Thank you. He brought a gun to a 4x4 fight. Not fair.
Yeah, no.
Not fair. But that's why it's so shocking, and I think that's why it rattles people so much, because it breaks the rules. You're not expecting it, and it's created a lot of divisiveness and conversation around it, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also, I was thinking, I forget who I was talking to also, of course, guns and slashers, but it's in Scream, the Scream series, technically, there's parts where they use guns too. So, I guess it's sort of more somewhat acceptable to use guns and slashers now, I guess. I don't know, but.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do appreciate when there's creativity surrounding that and it's not used as a crutch, but, I think there's a difference between using it gratuitously and the way in which it's used in the film, which is just that it comes out once and then that's it.
Yeah, that is the difference too of that, of course. So that is what makes it unique also, I think.
Yeah, because there's this emotional shift where he's having fun. Art's having fun. He's messing with everybody. He's teasing everybody, and he's making a game out of what he's doing. And then there's this shift where suddenly he's not playing anymore. And I find that deeply disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hell of an interesting character, and his whole bag of tricks. Let's see. Haddonfield Slasher says, I thought you were going to be the one that somehow lives. Why they killed the sexy one?
Thanks. Thank you. Well, you know, talk to Damien. File all your complaints with Damien Leone. Tell him to bring you back from the dead.
Yeah, you never know. He can shit, I can't think of the word.
Reanimate?
Yeah, reanimate.
I mean, yeah, it's never out of the realm of possibility. And we're talking about horror, so who knows?
Anything's possible.
Some of our soul demons could have leaked into you.
I mean, he comes back to life at the end of the first one, so you know.
Yeah, sure.
So
who are we to say? But I appreciate you mourning my death. Thank you for your condolences. Yes. I'm glad that it was effective, because that's good. That means you cared about Tara as a character.
Oh yeah. She was definitely cared about.
Thank you.
And it says that you've done stunts in 18 films. That is pretty impressive. Have you ever had anything that was super crazy or something that's went wrong? Or
I didn't know it was 18, so that's really cool to hear.
That's what IMDb says, so sometimes they're wrong. So.
If it's on there, it's probably right. I just hadn't ever counted. That's really exciting. In terms of craziness, if you've seen The Bye Bye Man, which is another horror movie, and you see my character get hit by a train, that's one of the crazier. Spoiler alert again. That's one of the crazier.
I think most of us probably seen it anyway. I'm sure.
Yeah, this seems like the community where people would have at least heard of it, and even if you saw the trailer, it's in the trailer. So that was a pretty crazy one of pretending to get hit by a train, and the way in which we accomplished that. That was a lot of fun, and not something I've had done before that or since. And I did have the opportunity to do a series of stunts last year on a movie that hasn't come out yet, which is what I shaved my head for, where I was jumping off of a yacht into the Gulf of Mexico and like swimming away from an explosion and stuff. That was pretty fun. I'm very, very fortunate in that I have not had anything catastrophic happen. I'm sure everyone's heard the stories of the way stunts really can go wrong if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And if the proper protocol is not respected. But I've been lucky to work on some really great sets with people who really know what they were doing. And luckily, I've learned what I'm doing too. And so I know to ask for things when protocol is necessary. And obviously, it's really, really important. I think the only time I was really hurt was there was a time when I was doing a short film years and years and years ago where I had to jump out of the back of a moving car and do a somersault and then point a gun at somebody, like all in one fell swoop. And I kind of jacked up my shoulder while doing that. It was rough. But luckily that's it. I'm better. I'm okay. But, and I'm very fortunate that that's the worst and hopefully will always be.
Yes.
Jen just came in. Jennifer Tochi, how are you? So she says hello to us as well.
Hello friends.
Sort of speaking of the Bye Bye Man, your character was either sensitive or psychic, whichever you want to call. Have you in real life ever had any deja vu or weird experiences like that, or go to a psychic, or do you believe in that?
That is a fun question. I like that. So when we were filming Bye Bye Man, I was in Cleveland, Ohio for, I think, 6 weeks. And I actually production actually reimbursed me to go to a professional psychic in that area, because I wanted to see what that was like in order to feel like I was emulating something similar to play Kim. So I did go to a psychic that one time. Outside of that research process, I haven't been to a psychic. I've had my tarot read a couple times by different people. I've drawn tarot cards for myself before. I really like tarot a lot. I think it's kind of fun. And I definitely had some weird experiences that can't be explained. I'm of the mindset that a lot of things that we deem supernatural can be explained by science we just don't understand yet. And so But yeah, all that's to say is, yeah, I've been in some spaces that felt weird, and I've definitely seen some weird things.
Oh, interesting.
I guess I'll give you one story because that feels really vague and unfair. Okay. All right, fine, just one. So there was a movie that I was working on when I was 19. It was the first feature film I ever starred in, this indie movie out in Southern California. And I was staying in someone on the production's guest room because it was very indie. And I remember in the middle of the night, I was in that kind of brainwave state where you're not awake and you're not asleep and you're kind of hovering in that weird purgatory between them in consciousness. And I remember looking over, and there was a piano in this room that I was staying in. It was this kind of old looking piano. And I remember looking, and there was a guy in this cowboy outfit that I saw, who was standing next to the piano and kind of rocking back and forth side to side. And I remember thinking, that's weird. I hope I'm dreaming, and just going back to sleep. So I was like, if that's not a dream, I honestly don't want to know. Do your thing, dude. Like, I'm not trying to open any doors to hell.
There's a cowboy. Yeah.
You do whatever you need to do. And the next morning, I don't remember how it came up, but I asked the host about the piano. And I remember I had seen a guy in a cowboy outfit, and they told me that it was an old saloon piano.
Oh, wow.
Which I did not know. So there's that, whatever that was.
That's interesting.
No one knows.
I saw
love
figure,
stories like that.
Yeah, I saw a figure one time at my grandmother's house, next to her painting. Some guy in a suit was just like standing there. And what's weird is even my aunt one time said she thought she saw like a man in the, like when she was staying there, and it's like, okay, that's a little weird.
I love that stuff. I think it's fascinating.
So yeah, I got so many different ghost stories. We've done supernatural. Yeah,
our house here is haunted.
Yeah, I love it.
We've done past shows of like supernatural, a couple shows and stuff, so people can.
Yeah, probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'll just pick one, but about a year or so ago, I fell and I had really bad head injury. I still have effects here and there from it, but shortly after that, I was having trouble seeing out of one eye because it was really swollen. I had this huge knot in black eye, and so I was having trouble seeing out of one eye. And I just saw a blurry person. I mean, you could see skin tone, I could see a shirt and everything, but they were all blurry. Like, I couldn't see facial features and everything. So I thought it was like my husband or son, like, come check on me, and ended up, they weren't even in the room or wearing that color shirt. But yeah, I've never seen a blurry person. Like, I've seen, like, what you've seen, kind of like the cowboy person, or it wasn't cowboy, but still, it sounds more like what I'd seen before. But yeah, it was just a straight up blurry person.
I mean, listen, time's not linear. Anything is possible. We're on stolen land. You know, like, nothing's out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, true. Jennifer said that's just scary.
Right? Yeah, Jennifer knows what's up.
And then Hadfield Slasher, he wants to know your favorite role that you've done in a film.
Oh, that's not fair.
As everybody says, it's like saying, who's my favorite child?
I know. Well, I only have one child, the furry one. So she's obviously the fur baby's my favorite, my reason for living. In terms of roles, it's hard because I feel very lucky and very fortunate to have gotten to play some really cool ones. I mean, one of the ones that definitely rises to the top 5 at least was, I know you said that you watched some of the music videos I've done. Yeah. I don't know if you watched the one, the Des Rock's music video called This Is Our Life, where it's me and I'm fighting, 5 dudes and we're all wearing the same outfit. And it's this like old boy style fight in this abandoned building. And the final boss is Danny, the artist. That's one of my top 5 probably. That was a lot of fun to do.
Almost like a Kill Bill type of scene. Just give people an idea of what it's like. Check it out.
Yeah. It is kind of like that. Thank you. That's a good preview. Yeah, it was just because I love getting to do my own stunts, and it did also feel like there were all these acting moments in there at the same time, and it was just very dynamic, and I got to be in my body, and we were moving at a breakneck pace, so we were just working constantly, and everyone on the team was really cool, and the label and the artists were all really cool. And yeah, so that would be one of them.
Yeah, Steve sent me a couple of the music videos. I didn't know about them, and I saw that one. That was really cool.
Thank you.
Doing all the different stunts. Were you a fan of those bands before you got on there? Or?
I don't think I was aware. Des Rocks I had heard of, but I hadn't extensively listened to his music. And then when I found out I was going to be working with him, I listened and I fell in love with his stuff. And now I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, I really like that song that those folks. Right? I've never heard of them before, so while I was listening, I was like, I like that song. I liked it.
I did too.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's got
I might have to look into more of their stuff.
Right. Yeah, he's got a bunch of dope stuff. And similarly with there was a Highly Suspect music video. I had heard some of their hits, but I hadn't listened to them extensively. But then after that, I certainly did. They're also very talented. That one is These Days. That's the name of that one.
Yeah.
For anyone
I guess it was the family dinner or whatever. Was that supposed to be a family or a couple coming over or something, or what? Was
it's supposed to be a family dinner, and I brought Tony Cavallero, who you may recognize from Righteous Gemstones. He's the visitor, and it's everyone else is me and my family, and it's our very tame, very normal Thanksgiving-esque meal. And I'm obviously, if you've seen it, being very facetious because it ends in a food fight, which was also a ton of fun to film.
Well, you looked like you was having fun, especially when you had, I think it was like mashed potatoes or something. You're like,
Oh yeah, thank you. That was improv. Yeah, the moment where I flicked him off with a fistful of mashed potatoes in my mouth was improv, and I was really happy that they kept that in.
I just cracked up laughing. I actually watched it a little bit before we came on here because he had just sent it to me today, and I was like,
amazing.
This is hilarious.
Thank you. That one was so much fun.
That
was a ton of fun.
That sort of answers another question too. Any improv scenes that have been kept in movies and shows, but you just answered that one.
That's one of and Rock and Egg, who were the directing duo who did both of those music videos. Actually, they. Especially with the Highly Suspect, the food fight video, they were really encouraging of improv, and they wanted us to just be yelling at each other. And so we were just going at it, and I didn't realize that they were going to use the audio. I thought they just wanted the visuals for reference of us yelling at each other. But then at the beginning of the video, you can actually hear these like very political rants I was improving entirely that they ended up using. I love that stuff. I love getting to improv, and it's always really exciting when productions are open to that. I'm sure we'll get to this, but there's a movie that I'm currently working on. I've been going back and forth to New Orleans for a couple months for it, and I can't talk about it yet, which pains me because this is the community that would appreciate this movie, but I can't talk about it yet. But hopefully I will be able to soon. But luckily that director has been very, very encouraging of improv. So when it comes out, you'll get to see all sorts of chaos.
Awesome.
Nice. I know you can't talk about it, but is it as gory as Terrifier? Same, more? Can you say?
It's different.
Okay.
Sounds about like what David said.
For what?
We had David on a while back, and he basically said it was basically different.
Different. That's what he said. Yep.
Yeah. Terrifier is unlike most things I've done and probably will do.
Probably ever, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a special gem. It exists in its own sort of weird world.
Yep. Since you did some fighting in that music video, and you've also trained, hopefully I say it right, Krav Maga?
That's right. That's right, yeah.
So when did you start doing that? Was that before you started getting into stunts or after? Or?
Sure. I started taking martial arts classes as a kid in kindergarten, I think. I don't know how old you are in kindergarten, but then. And I was actually taking Hoshindo at the time. It was something that my dad wanted me to do, probably partially for, anger reasons, but also because I think he just wanted to feel safer about me leaving the house. And so I did Hoshindo, which is Korean from kindergarten through middle school. In high school, I tried a little bit of Taekwondo and some soft style Tai Chi. And then when I graduated from high school and I was living out in Los Angeles and working out there, I started doing Krav Maga, which is the Israeli form of self-defense, just to stay in shape and to, again, to work out my anger issues. And I remember I had never marketed myself as someone who did my own stunts, because in my mind, stunts are falling out of a building, being on fire. And I didn't necessarily want to do those things. But someone pointed out to me that stunts are also just running or handling weapons or fighting. And I had been fighting for years. And so I was already doing martial arts and self-defense. And so I just started marketing myself as someone who could do my own stunts. And since then, I've apparently done 18 things involving them. And, but it's mostly fighting, which is a ton of fun. And I love doing. I love every time I get to do that stuff. And also like some, you know, in the music video with Food Fight, in the These Days music video, there's some hand pull harness stuff in the air, and I'm going to get to do a little more of that next month, which I'm very excited about. So once I started marketing myself as someone who did my own stunts, I then specifically found boot camps and training programs that were more geared towards movie stunts in particular, because there's kind of a learning curve where a lot of the techniques that you use in real world fighting, you have to modify to look good on camera, you know? So there is still kind of a learning curve, but it's been fun to explore that.
Nice. All right. You want to go ahead?
I would have to be brave to do those stunts. Yeah, we think about all the crazy stuff that they do, but yeah, I don't know.
Some people
I'd never be in a movie, but I don't know if I could do any of that stuff.
I mean, there are certain things that I won't do. I did one low fall, and I'm using quotation marks if you're watching the visual version of this, because it was 25 feet up, which I want to say is a story and a half or 2 stories or something like that. And it was terrifying. Yeah, that's what I said. Exactly. Hence the quote. I was like, there's no way this is considered a low fall. And it was horrifying. And so I don't really feel the need to do that stuff again necessarily. But, you know, if I'm in a harness, you can dangle me in the air as much as you want. But if I'm not, that's a different story. So I think it's important to know where your boundaries are regarding what you're good at or not good at. And, you know, never say never.
That does sound terrifying.
Yeah.
25, I think maybe 10, 15, that might be lower. I mean, that's kind of
right. But then again, I've also gone skydiving and bungee jumping and stuff, so I don't know why I'm sitting here saying I wouldn't, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot.
Well, you have like safety stuff with you. I don't know if with that free fall. Well, you probably fall on like a mat or something. It's probably bigger than a mat, but I don't know what it's called.
No. You are hitting a mat. That's true when you free fall. I think with skydiving, I was attached to someone who.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning.
Yeah, I think So this is it's a little bit of
like safety in your mind, but you don't think about the mat maybe, but you feel it's like a hug.
Yeah. Kind of.
I didn't know how to explain. I've never done it. So.
Yeah, skydive might be fun. I've never done it. I've been on a plane, but never jumped out of one. So
I do want to do that again. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
But the instructor that I had did mess with me though, where when you skydive, you're supposed to lean. You put your toes on the entrance of the plane, and you're supposed to lean forward, rock back, and then fall out. And we leaned forward, we rocked back, and then the guy who I'm attached to whispered in my ear, "Hey, what's wrong with your parachute?" and then pushed us out of the plane.
Oh! I would die.
Parachute.
It was a dick move. I forgot how to breathe for like half of the fall.
I can imagine.
Well, what do you mean? Sounds like when I was in elementary, I was the youngest one to go. Have you heard of the human slingshot? Where they shoot you down, goes like 0 to 60 miles per hour, shoots you right up off bungee cords.
No, wait, is that different than like the Blob, where someone jumps on and you fly off? Is that a different thing?
It's different. It's just it seats 2 people, and then they hit the button. And it's on bungee cords. It just flings you up in the air, and then it bounces up and down a couple times. Like it's just a shot straight up 0 to 60 miles per hour. Yeah,
sounds like a reverse bungee jump.
That's a good way to put it. Reverse
trampoline on crack.
Yeah. So I was already the youngest one to do it, and some people were like, "I can't believe he's doing that." And the guy, no one wanted to get on with me. They were too scared to get on there. I was the only one going there. So the guy who worked there, one of them, the second one, goes, "Hey, I'll go up there with you." And he goes, "Oh, this is I don't remember the guy's name, but let's just call him Brian. Where he goes, this is Brian. Why don't you two shake hands? The second I shook his hand, boom, shot me up right in the air. Didn't even warn me nothing. And
maybe
then,
it was the same guy.
So
maybe
I don't know.
The same
Maybe
guy I jumped out of a plane with. Maybe they're related. I don't know.
It's his cousin or something.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, let's just. I mean, I get why they do it, because then you're not anticipating it. You don't tense up.
Yeah.
Still dick moves, though. Still not great.
People always play.
No, I got a fear of roller coasters because my dad had us go on. I forget how old I was. Obviously, old enough to go on one, but I was still really young. And it was a wooden one at.
Oh no!
I think it was Six Flags. And he told me that it was going to fall apart while we were on it, and I can't do them no more. After that, I will not do roller coasters. Anything like pretty much high up, I will not do.
Dueling Dragons at Universal is fun. I love that ride. And the Hulk, when they had the Hulk, I think it might still be there. I'm not sure, but
I mean, I love roller coasters, but in your defense, the wooden ones do feel like they're about to fall apart at any moment.
And don't they make like noises like when you're on it?
Yeah,
Like
they're like creaking. You're like, today's the day.
And my family like to mess with me a lot. It's like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Merrimack Caverns, or it's in Missouri, but it's a cave system you get to go in and explore.
Oh, cool.
Well, we was going in, and it's tourist friendly. You know, I took my son when he was little, except I didn't traumatize him like my family did. But we was getting ready to walk in, and my dad told me that there was dinosaurs inside. And they're gonna eat me and stuff. So they had to literally drag me into this cavern, screaming. And then there was another thing. There was a Indian Mound thing. I forget what it's called, but it's in Illinois. And you get to walk in, you get to see different, like, I think they might have closed it now because this is like back in like the 80s. So you get to walk in, you see the different stuff that they found in this area. And both my grandpa and my dad told me that I was going to get scalped inside, so I had to get dragged in screaming there too.
Oh my gosh! You're dead, damn!
Just trying to
blame you for being traumatized.
So yeah, but I only ended up with a fear of heights out of all that. So. I could be scared of a lot more.
That's absolutely true.
Wow. Good times.
Amazing.
Probably explains a lot of my humor.
You gotta cope somehow.
Yeah, it's like I was almost scalped when I was a child.
Wow.
And wooden roller coaster. Man.
I think the wooden roller coaster is probably the scariest out of the three that I remember. God knows of what happened. I don't remember, but I do remember.
Right.
Who knows how much you blocked out after that?
Down. Yeah.
You're gonna have be like, oh my god, and you're gonna have like memories flushing back to you the night after the show when you go to bed. Oh boy. Anyway, I was gonna ask you. You were. I just can imagine that being scalped, being dragged in. We'll have to make a movie of that. There we go, another movie idea.
There it is.
You also were on WandaVision, an episode as a scientist there. Are you more of a Marvel or DC fan, or both? And how'd you get involved with that one?
Oh, this seems like a trick question because I feel like there's no right answer.
Like,
I don't want anyone to hate me. I got I wouldn't necessarily take sides. I'll play the safe card and say I'm more of a Lord of the Rings person. I'm just kidding, kind of. I actually don't watch a ton of superhero stuff, period. Mm-hmm. Not that I dislike it. It's just not normally what I kind of seek out. I did really love The Boys. But
The Boys is great. I love The Boys.
So good. I can't wait for season 3. Yeah, but I've definitely watched some Marvel stuff and some DC stuff. And it's cool because a lot of Marvel stuff does film here in Atlanta, and so I had read for it a ton of times. And that one I got through my agent, Alex, and yeah, he sent me the tape, and they had me read for it a ton of different times. And with Marvel stuff, you're reading fake besides like you have to sign 1 million NDAs. I can only even talk about it now because the show is out itself.
Right.
Yeah, but so I knew very, very little going in, but it was a ton of fun, and it was so awesome to work with all those people, and the set was really cool. The director was really cool. It was fun to be a part of that world, and I'm happy to be technically a part of the MCU.
The Marvel Universe, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you could be a character in a Marvel movie, who would you want to be?
That's a great question. I am not sure. You tell me. I feel like I've heard of some pretty cool characters that I would be down for. Again, I love the stunt stuff. So like any excuse to fly through the air to fight, I'm here for it. You know, sign me up. I don't know.
Or maybe you could be in the next Mortal Kombat movie.
I would love that.
That would be awesome.
That would be very cool.
You could be the new Katana. Cool. How's that? That'd be awesome.
Sure. I'm not super familiar, but she sounds badass.
Oh, she's got like weapon fans that kill people and stuff.
So, yeah. Cool. Nice. Yeah. Since after Terrifier came out, I don't know if she's DC or Marvel or a completely different universe, so please forgive me. I got told a bunch that in Terrifier I look like what's her name? Cassie Hackslash. I'm literally butchering this, and that's probably a play on words. Cassie Hack. Someone will know what I'm talking about. But there's this like comic book character that a bunch of people told me I look like, and she seems really cool.
If anyone,
I'm not into comics. I've only seen the few movies that have came out, so I have no clue.
Someone will come to my rescue.
Have Tita Wilby. He said you look like Jubilee.
Who is Jubilee?
She shoots the fireworks from her fingertips.
Oh, dope! Yeah, see, that sounds awesome. Hell yeah! Have they made a movie of her yet?
She was briefly in them. I mean, they did, of course, cartoon, the X-Men when the cartoon was out. There was a show called Mutant X, or there was a movie. I mean, there's also a show that was Mutant X, but there was another movie. I can't think of what it was called, but it was sort of based on like X-Men. Like this one kid, he could become element. Well, not become elements. Like his body, say he pick up a rock, his body like became a rock when this guy went to punch him in the face, broke his hand.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And I think there was a Jubilee in that, but they haven't really centered too much in like the most recent ones yet. So
you guys write them. Everyone write them right now. Tell them they need to do it. That sounds really cool. I'll have to look more. I'll look her up. I'll look up her like lore. That sounds really cool. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. See,
at least he knows more than that because we was talking about Mortal Kombat, so I just assumed it was Mortal Kombat person.
No, that's not Mortal Kombat. No.
Shows what I honestly don't know that stuff. I played Mortal Kombat a few times, but I don't know the characters.
Right. Yeah. Clearly, I don't either. I'm embarrassing myself here.
Hop said he's thinking Kate from Hackers is spot on. Maybe you mean the movie Hackers? Is that? Maybe that's what we meant. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. Bones said Crash and Burn.
I think they're having a conversation among themselves.
Or it might be different. I don't know. I'm confused.
I also seen that you have observed 4 autopsies. Were those for movies or some other reason?
She asked very hesitantly.
Like, I don't know. Do I need to ask this question?
Do I want to know why? In high school, I took forensics, and that was a part of the program.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that was my backup career is in the forensics field. If film doesn't work out, there's always forensics, and because I really love forensics, and it's very much to me storytelling in reverse. It's here's the ending. Now, how do we get here? Which I think is really cool. And so we could opt out of seeing the autopsies if we wanted to, but I did not. I really wanted to see them. And I thought it was fascinating. And it was one of those things where I only saw 4 because you sign up to attend, and then it's a matter of if anyone dies beforehand. So we signed up for this quote unquote field trip. And it was weird because the day before, I remember our teacher saying, you know, whoever we're going to see tomorrow is walking around right now. And that freaked me out so much, but in like a really horror fan weirdo type of way. And then when we got there, it turned out that 4 people had died in the area where the medical examiner was. So yeah, so I got to see 4, and it was fascinating. Obviously, it's horrible that those people had to die, but it's really interesting thing to watch, because the people who do them, I mean, they're like joking and stuff while they're cutting these people open, which kind of ties into what we were saying before about people who are into horror and things like that. Of, you know, we all cope and joke and like, you know, explore our fears as a way of getting through things. And it was funny to watch that medical examiners do the exact same thing.
They touch on that in a lot of like criminal shows too. It's like the morgue person's always like this dark person that's joking, and not even that, to horror movies too. It's like the morgue person, you know, they put the sandwich on the chest of the dead person or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just remember one of the guys there picked up this liver and was like pretending to eat it for us. Like
it pull up some fava beans while he was at it. Some fava beans and
nice callback.
had to.
Amazing.
Hobbs, when we were talking about who you look like and stuff, and he is comparing you to Angelina Jolie from Hackers.
Thank you. That is quite the compliment. She is amazing in everything she does. I will accept that very humbly.
Some of your directing, I did watch the Orange is Bliss that you directed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's on. Bones is quoting screamed out, "Leave her alone."
Oh my God!
From Scream, "Leave her alone."
Ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Bones. You know. So yeah, it was more of like a, I guess, futuristic sci-fi, where people are chipped and then they find out who they're compatible with. I don't really want to give up too much away. But would you say green would be like soulmate, or because orange was like maybe? I'm trying to not give it away, but explain it. So, you know, if you want to explain it,
technology in it, So for anyone who hasn't seen it, what he's talking about is Bliss Orange, which is a short film that I directed, which is on Dust, the YouTube platform run by Gunpowder and Sky, their streaming service, which is very sci-fi specific. And we premiered at Outfest in 2020 and played a bunch of other festivals, which was really exciting. It was written by Samantha Weissert, and the concept that she came to me with is that everyone has these, like you were saying, these chips in their wrists, and it turns colors when you're in the vicinity of someone you are somewhat compatible with, and basically the color that the chip turns indicates what percentage of compatibility you are with that person. And, you know, if you go on a dating app, it'll say this person is 70% compatible with you. Or on Netflix, this movie is 30% compatible with your taste, that sort of thing. But it's a color system. So the idea is, you know, there are a certain number of people in the world that you're an orange match with. And there's one person in the world that you're a green match with, who's your quote unquote, for lack of a better term, soulmate. The problem is that you might never meet that person. So then the conversation becomes, do you quote unquote settle for an orange, or do you hold out in the hopes that you might meet your green match? So that's the setup. And it's a short film. It's, you know,
6 minutes, I think it was.
Well, or less, more, I don't know. But it's not very long. So I definitely recommend watching it. I'm really proud of what we did.
I watched it right earlier because Steve sent me that as well, along with that music video. It's really good.
Definitely, I posted those on the Facebook group. I'm not sure if I did the orange one or orange is Bliss is orange.
Bliss is orange, yeah.
I'm saying it backwards. I'm saying orange is bliss. Yes, oranges are blissful. Go get some orange juice. No, but yeah, I'll be sure to share that and everything too.
Thank you. That would be wonderful.
Let's see. Welcome, Aaron. He just came in. So, since you directed that, also, you plan on doing maybe any feature films you want to do, or just stick in front of the camera?
Yeah, well, there was a horror short film that I directed last year called Trapdoor in the Sun. That's not available publicly yet. You can see the trailer for it on Laser Pigeon Pictures, the Vimeo page, which is my production company. You can see the trailer for it. And that we made actually as a proof of concept, a pitch for the feature version, which is horror. So we've been talking to people about that. And then there's also an action short that I've been writing that would also be a proof of concept for a feature. So, and then there was I was able to be in the second round of the Sundance Labs last year, the second round of submissions with a feature film. And that one was also kind of sci-fi-y. So yeah, I'm working on it. I will hopefully be able to say a confident yes soon, but that is certainly the goal. I've directed, I think, 17 short things at this point, so I'm hoping that a feature will be next.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. That'd be great.
Thank you.
Let's see. Anyone else here in the chat got any more questions for Jenna? Anything else you got? Boom.
I was going to touch, I don't know, we're kind of running out of time, but I was going to touch, is like, it says that you've learned, where did I put it? I'm sorry. I'm trying to find my note. You learned a lot of Hebrew, I'll put by age 12, because I lost my tab. Was you ever thought to like learn any other languages or just that one? Or
yeah, I'm pretty rusty at Hebrew now. I think you're reading it. I could read and write and speak it fluently by the age of 12, but I barely use it, so I have kind of lost that ability. I can still speak a small amount, and I still remember the grammar skills and everything, but most of it's unfortunately gone. But I'm trying right now to learn Spanish. I'm in the process of learning Spanish.
I took 1 year Spanish in high school, and now it's like I can't really speak it that well, but I understand a little bit. But I can only like a little bit of conversational stuff, and that's about it. And I do know one word in I forget what it's called, but it's a Filipino language, because I play with a person on PlayStation that's Filipino, and he taught me one word, and it's a body part.
This is a family show. What will you say?
Oh no! Oh fuck! Is this a family show?
No, fuck that.
Yeah, but
it's a horror family show.
Yeah.
So if you ever wanna, it's T is penis basically, or TT.
Good to know.
Or it's either T or TT. I haven't talked to him in a while, but yeah, it's either T or
Good
T.
to know.
As a joke, to someone say the alphabet up to the letter T, and then stop at T and be like, I got you to say it.
Yeah, I wish I had learned Spanish younger, but I'm trying to now. I mean, so many people speak it, and so many people speak it here and around the world, and I think it's a really beautiful language. So, working on it. I know like the bare minimum.
Yeah, that is about as much.
I can get around.
When I worked at a fast food place, we used to have a lot of people come in, and one guy was trying to teach me how to say change back, and that was hard. It's like I know a lot of the numbers, but trying to say like the change, that's a little bit different. So he was trying to teach me a little bit, because he knew I knew a little bit, but yeah, I ended up quitting, so I didn't get very much, but it. Learning experience from that, but yeah, that was hard trying to save like money.
Jennifer said, "I know Pepe Le Pew French."
Yeah.
Oh God, that guy's been canceled.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that? That's ridiculous.
I mean, he didn't respect boundaries, to be fair, but he's also a cartoon.
Exactly.
What I heard is they was gonna basically put him in his place in that scene, and instead of like having a learning experience, they just. It's like you could have a learning experience and show why this is.
Oh, they absolutely could have turned that into a lesson on consent, and probably.
And that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but what I heard, because I haven't even watched that movie, but what I heard is they was gonna basically have it as a learning experience, and basically have somebody tell them that no, you can't do this. And
right, good. They should have. Great idea.
Yeah.
Well.
They never do what they should do.
Oh.
But it's like, I mean, it's even Speedy Gonzalez, like when he was when Sylvester was like guarding the border of Mexico and he's like running over for cheat. It's like, really? Come on now. Like,
I think if we really went back and
I mean, you
looked
could
at
do
a
so
lot,
much.
yeah, I think if we looked at a lot of IP from back in the day, it would not hold up and should not, and we can just leave it in the past.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yes.
Leave it where it
learn
belongs.
from your past
Yeah.
instead of getting rid of it and hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, learning, growing. Love these things.
Yes,
Love these
Exactly.
things.
There we go. Learn, live, love it.
Live, laugh, love.
Last question here. Anything that we might not know about you? Other hobbies besides skydiving, or what you other talents we might not know about, or anything you want to share?
You might not know about me. That's a great question. I wish I had a really interesting answer to it. I'm really flexible. I don't know if anyone would know that about me. Like, I'm sitting on the floor right now. I'm wearing ridiculous slippers, so get ready for that. I'm trying. How do I stay in frame while also doing this? I can't show you. The frame is too small. This is my foot.
And for future listeners on Spotify,
right, you're not watching. My foot was the side, my face. Yeah, I can do a split. I can do I can stand and go into a back bend. A lot of really just useless stuff. So that's a fun
really
thing.
you could probably use it as like if you play something as like a monster, you can
right.
I do the exorcist with me.
I do want to do something where I because it's so when I'm in a back bend and like crawling towards somebody, like
that's immediately what I thought of when you was saying
exorcist
that.
walk.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exorcist walk. Yeah, exactly. I can do the exorcist walk.
Just your next audition, just exorcist walk into the thing.
They're redoing the exorcist, so maybe you could play the demon.
I love to make an entrance. That would be a great way to do it. And like what you were saying about teaching my cat tricks, which she is now fully asleep, and I don't have treats in here at the moment, but she does know how to do tricks. We were talking about this earlier. I can't remember if we were recording yet or not, but that's a fun thing I'm very proud of as well.
Yeah, cats are great, and they're, my opinion, are harder to teach than
yes,
anyway.
They definitely are.
It takes a lot of patience.
It does. I'm very proud of her. I'm a stage mom.
It was funny. I was watching some TikTok videos of like all these animals that were like falling and doing crazy stuff, and it was titled "Wee," and so like whenever they were falling, like all this stuff, it was going "Wee." Well, someone had a cat. And they had like one of the pole toys and stuff, and it went to jump, and they were falling. It jumped right into the trash can. I'm like, oh,
poor baby. Oh no.
Oh, Jennifer wants to know: do you do yoga?
I do. I do yoga. I said do. Yes.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't gonna say it.
I said it for you. I got you, fam. No, I do yoga. I try to do yoga and meditate every day. Yep. I started meditating early in the pandemic and have kept it up. It's been very helpful. That and therapy. Highly recommend therapy.
Yes.
Can't recommend it enough.
All right. I guess that's it. Thank you very much. Unless any last words or anything you want to promote or your Instagram where we can.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and ever said it that way.
Very daunting. Should I get a last meal as well with this?
Or if you want to stay longer, it's fine. It's up to you. I'm not trying to get rid of you, but
no. That was just really funny. No, wrapping it up. Let's see. Yeah, my Instagram. I am squid enthusiast. I put it in my little thing on here. It's like someone who's enthusiastic about squids, because boy am I.
I was gonna say that's an interesting name. Yes.
Yes, I love squids. I think their cephalopods are just neat. Yes. They're just really neat. So that's where I'm on Instagram. Coming out this year, in a couple of shows, episodes of shows. Keep an eye out for those. I'll obviously announce them on Instagram. And there's a feature film called Faceless After Dark that I did write. I didn't direct, but I wrote and produced and am the lead in. And that one's a fun horror film that I think I think you guys will hopefully really dig, and that'll come out this year. So kind of keep an eye out for that. And the other movie that I can't talk about will hopefully come out this year. And other things.
Keep an eye out for that too. The mystery movie, everybody. So.
I was looking at the time wrong, and I thought we were just having Mel wait, but we still got like an hour. I was like, "Oh, we gotta hurry up and leave." But yeah, that's my bad.
We got enough time. I mean, we can have a little break in between too, and everything.
I have to subtract because me and Steve are in different time zones, so I have to subtract. And I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh man, Mel's waiting on us."
Where are you? Where is everybody? What's
I'm
going
in Florida.
Yeah, I just realized, like, no, we got time. So I'm sorry. I was trying to rush it. I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh, you're like really in.
Yes.
Like, you guys were like, we need to find the farthest possible places away from each other.
Actually, Mel's got us beat. She's in Japan, so that she's got us beat.
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys are as far as you can get away from each other while still being in the U.S., other than like Kauai or Alaska, I suppose.
Right.
Wisconsin's beautiful. That's amazing. And Florida, we're in the same time zone. I'm in Atlanta right now. So, ESP gang.
Atlanta's great. I took my son there. I forget what year it was, but he was still fairly young. He's 17 now, but we went on vacation and went and seen like the Coke building and the CNN and all the tourist places. Basically spent like a week or so in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's really nice. It's come a long way. Because I used to live on the I was born in New England, and then I've lived kind of all over the place for movies, and lived in California for a while, and then came back to Atlanta for work. And yeah, it's a neat place. It's cool. It's come a really long way. It's Georgia is a little rough sometimes, but Atlanta is great.
Yeah.
I've only been to like 2 cities in Georgia, so I don't know.
It's one of the only ones worth going to. Atlanta and Savannah and Athens actually is pretty cool.
Now we stayed in, I think it was called Union City, because it's like right outside of Atlanta, and it was cheaper than staying in Atlanta. So we like got a hotel like out there somewhere, and I couldn't tell you where because it's been years since we've been there, but then we just drive into Atlanta and go to the different things.
Awesome. Yeah, Atlanta's really cool. It's a cool place.
Dragon Con's always fun in Atlanta when they do that. I don't know if you've ever been to Dragon Con yet or not. Or
I have not. I did actually. No, that's not true. I've been twice. I went once right before the pandemic, and then last year we actually Faceless After Dark, the film that I mentioned. We actually got some footage at the parade. Last year there's some parade footage in the movie. So when you see the parade, that's Dragon Con.
Yes. There's how they close up the street. Dragon Con is like awesome. And it's like 3 or 4 hotels, and it's just
insane. Yeah, that's why we didn't go inside this year, because I think Delta was raging at the time. But we did go to the parade, and even that like shuts down half of downtown. It's amazing.
Did they do it last year? I thought it was canceled. Or maybe...
They did. I mean, I think as far as conventions did, I was very impressed with what they did. They had a vaccine mandate. You had to like show your card to get inside. I thought they did a really good job. But I think the year before that it didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. It was the year before they had canceled.
Yeah. But I think now it's back.
That sounds amazing. I've never been to a Dragon Con. I've never heard of a con having a parade. That sounds amazing.
Any future con plans for you?
Actually, I did 2 last year. I did Spooky Empire, which is
where I met you. Yes,
yes, as you know, you were there. That's where we met. And then I did a con in New Jersey, and then I did some before the pandemic. I'm hoping to do more in the future because they're just so much fun.
And it's starting to pick back up too, and everything. So
I just have to be careful. Slowly, I just have to be careful because if there were some, and it's worth mentioning this too because some people will reach out and ask like why I wasn't at certain conventions, or there are times when I've had to cancel appearances because for filming I get tested a lot, and so if you freelance and if you test positive, then there goes a job. So I just have to be really careful. So it's just a matter of, I can't do a convention right before I'm about to do a movie just for exposure purposes, even though I'm obviously vaccinated and boosted. We never know. So
still, yeah, unfortunately.
I know, unfortunately, what a world. But on the bright side, we're in 3 different parts of the country talking to each other. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The joys of the internet.
Brings everybody together. Yeah, exactly. So
you guys probably got all nice warm weather. Last night we had something called a snow squall. It's basically, snow squall is like I forget how it's like really windy. I forget how much the winds went. I think it was like 30-40 miles per hour, if not higher.
Oh wow.
And you get about 1 inch of snow in a half hour just dump on you while it's really windy. We could just see white out the windows. I took my dog out before it started getting really bad, and it was snowing pretty hard, but it wasn't like crazy yet. And my coat, my hat, everything, I have a black hat and coat. It was like almost white. So we was just
covered. That's bonkers, dude. I mean, it's cold here, but it's not that cold. It's not cold like that. This would be a joke to you. This is probably like, I think it's freezing outside. You'd probably be like, this is springtime, and you're weak.
You're like, it's warm. You're like, what are you talking about? It's hot out.
Yeah. You'd be here in your like bikini, being like, I don't know.
That'd be a scary sight. I wouldn't do that.
That's insane. I'm glad that you look like you're safe and warm, and I hope that you continue to be that way. My God. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. This was so much fun. I haven't done a podcast in a long time. This was a blast.
So thank you for coming. Yeah, it was fun. Let me see.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Jamie said I'm getting, was it lake effects? Oh, late, I think she means.
Lake effect. It's another snow term you guys don't know.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a typo or...
You wouldn't understand. It's a thing for people who live in cold weather.
Okay. I'm not cool enough. No pun intended, but I'm not cool enough, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, she says she's snowed in. I wonder where they're at.
It's not. It doesn't. We don't get squalls here, whatever that is.
Oh,
yeah.
Lake
effect snow is a little bit different. If you live closer to like a lake, you get higher amounts of snow. That's why it's called lake effect snow. So let's say it snows where I'm at. But if somebody lives in Milwaukee, they'll get, because Milwaukee's closer to Lake Michigan, they could get more snow than because it's called lake effect. As best I could explain it, because I don't remember the rest.
No. That makes sense, because I remember in LA, I used to, like, there was a time period when I first lived there where I lived, not when I first lived there. There was a time when I lived closer to like the marina and the ocean. And I remember, and I think it's a similar sort of, I'm not a meteorologist, contrary to popular belief, but I just remember that there was this fog that would roll in. And I feel like it's a similar sort of thing of like, if you were near the water, it would be fog. And then I remember as soon as I would drive into the city, it was gone. It was a clear day. So there is definitely something, like some sort of like water, weather situation.
Yeah, and when you get colder, then that just dumps more snow on you. Then
it's all moisture in the air, man.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I'm not a meteorologist. I just play one on TV.
Right. I haven't yet, but I could.
Yeah.
Someone hit me up.
Hey, you're learning stuff about weather now. You're already going.
Now I know what a squall is. So I feel
when you come in audition, I got the perfect really audition. Rare, we have a squall coming in.
Yeah, apparently, because I've watched the weather a lot, and apparently it's really rare. But yeah, Wisconsin and Illinois got hit with it last night. Most of my family still lives in Illinois, so I watched the weather for both. But yeah, this band of snow squall moved through. I don't know if it hit any other states, but it hit Wisconsin and Illinois last night anyway.
Man, it's what I mean.
Lake effect snow is more common than squalls.
We did get snow in Atlanta this year in January. And I mean, obviously gestures vaguely at climate change. Like our weather's going to keep getting crazier every year. So, we'll have lots of things, lots of terms, lots of meteorology to dive into. Because this shit's wild.
For sure.
But yeah, I'll log off before I go on some sort of rant and piss everybody off. But this has been wonderful.
I'm glad. Thank you again.
Thank you so so much. Yeah, thank you for having me. This was so much fun. I'll again, Instagram, I'll be sure to announce things as soon as I'm able to talk about the mystery movie. I will try to let you know.
Yeah, I have to look. I don't know if I got you on Instagram yet. I know I started following you on Twitter. And if you saw my post about the promo, I 100% apologize. I did not mean to do what I did.
I think you just told on yourself.
Yeah.
Honestly,
but I saved the wrong. I was editing because I put, after these get done, I edited them and then I put them onto like it's called Anchor, and it shoots it out to like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that.
Oh yeah.
So I was editing, and while I was doing it, I was trying to share the promos out, and I do all the thumbnail art. So I have like this little folder does that, and I saved the wrong thumbnail, and I clicked a different person, not thinking of it. I wasn't paying attention. So when I shared everything out, I shared Mel's, hers was right, but yours was wrong. I had the right name and time and everything, but I had the wrong person, and I had you tagged it. I was like, oh my God. Steve noticed it today. I didn't catch on.
What's kind of funny is people had liked it, but no one left a comment saying that's not Jenna. So I don't know. But
and even had her name on it too.
It had her name on it.
I'd like to think that people were just like, wow, she has so much range. She looks like a completely different person. What a talented actor.
It's all fixed now. I went, after he pointed it out, I deleted all my boo-boos and I fixed it, but I didn't realize I did it, so I didn't know if you saw it because I did tag you on Twitter, but that was not on purpose. I did not mix you up for this other person. I wasn't paying attention and clicked, and the other person must have been right next to you in my little folder, and I just clicked and went.
You are forgiven. It's fine. These things happen. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, I'm not on. I'm on Twitter a little bit, but I'm not super active on Twitter. I mostly just repost things. But yeah, Instagram. It's the same handle though.
Okay.
No worries. It's the internet. It's all
Bones.
Yeah, I saw that squid enthusiast. That's the cutest thing.
It's all right. Thank you. I appreciate your concern, but it's no worries. No worries.
I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. But
people have spelled my name wrong before. So I honestly, if you're going to do that, I'd rather you just put a different name entirely. That's less upsetting to me, actually.
Yeah, it was different name, different face.
Yeah, sure.
Different movies in the thumbnail.
Yeah. I think if you're going to make a mistake, just dive in the deep end. Just really go for it. I like that. Just commit 100%.
Yeah, I did.
I
didn't even realize it.
I love it.
Good advice. Just 100% commit to it. Might as well.
Yeah, I posted it everywhere, and like he said, not a single person corrected it.
That's on them. That's on them. That's not on you. That's on the internet.
Shame on you, internet. Shame on you, people.
It just want to see if they didn't save it, but it's all deleted now and fixed. So.
Amazing.
I think I might get something to eat before the next show. So
yeah.
Thanks again. It's been fun. Like I said, we just keep on talking. I mean, we don't even
I'm gonna have to pee in only a matter of moments. So Tara and I are very similar in that way. So
yeah, just hope no rats come out of the toilet.
Boy, do I also hope that.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you guys so much.
All right. Bye.
Oh, shoot.
So yes.
I didn't know she saw it, so I figured I better come clean a little bit.
So I'm like, you told on yourself.
Yeah, I'll completely own it. I boo-booed bad. So, yeah, I was doing other things while I did it and just did not pay attention.
Like I said,
I've been having like head injury issues like this week. I was like, I was texting you, it was like half my stuff. I read it back, it's like, that don't make sense.
Make no sense, it does.
It's like, man. Then yesterday I called, somebody was wearing these shoes, and I called them the wrong name, like really bad wrong name, and like the type of shoe it was. I was like, man. The guy asked me, it's like, what's that? It's like, leave me alone. I called it by the wrong name.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this, and we'll be back in about 45 minutes or less there with Mel Heflin for show number 2.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone who came in, everybody who watched the replay, and we'll see you shortly.
Bye-bye.
Bye.